All right, well, let's get rolling. We'll call the Durant Community Facilities Authority meeting of the board to order about 3 minutes after 3 o'clock. And with that, we will call the roll, please.
Board Member Baxter.
Here.
Board Member Blackburn.
Here.
Board Member Briscoe.
Here.
Board Member Dillard is absent. Board Member Grover.
Here.
Board Member Miller.
Here.
Board Member Simulescu is absent. Board Member or Vice Chairman Pierce
Here.
and Chairman Webb.
Here. Great, thank you. Well, we do have a quorum. Our order of business, first item is our consent items. The only item there is approval of regular meeting minutes from our meeting December 5, 2023. If you had a chance to look at those, would entertain a motion for our consent items, of which that's the only one.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
and a second.
Okay. Board Member Baxter.
Yes.
Board Member Blackburn.
Yes.
Board Member Briscoe.
Yes.
Board Member Grover.
Yes.
Board Member Miller.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Pierce.
Yes.
Chairman Webb.
Yes. Great, thank you. No items removed from consent. Information items. Our financial report, Ann Shan is she's out of the country. Would be available via email if we should need to ask questions. If you've had an opportunity to look at the financial report, it is an information item, and so it's not a voting item. But our last real major item of approval expenditure was the approval of the funding that we'll hear about in a few minutes at the complex, sports complex, as well as the upgrades at Paul Laird and the arena, which we'll have a report from those in just a bit. There's Dr. Mike is here. I would have sworn that looked like some kind of a tray that cookies would go on, but apparently it's not. So that's just my it's the way I'm wired. Come on up, we'll pull a chair if you'd like. Okay, yeah. Questions, comments regarding our financials? Just in looking, significant expense in November. I looked at debt service expenses that we had, and so our net gains were not as great. But you can look to see balances in the account, as well as Coach Grover, you mentioned CD balances as well. I think that maybe between this meeting and the next, Cynthia, when our next board meeting, do you recall? Right,
it'll be June.
It's
June.
We may, if you want, I was talking to Ann Chin about this.
Mm-hmm.
You might call a special after that, just for when
Yes.
the final one is.
Yeah.
But whenever works, for everyone.
Right. And again, information, just kind of talking on the record, I just think that it was kind of the will of the board that we want to, as this thing kind of wraps up, we want to make sure that we have had as much of an impact on the things that our taxpayers voted on as we possibly could, and not just to spend to be spending, but I think that just kind of based on the financial report before you, that I would just kind of challenge our authority to look that over, and I don't know that we necessarily make it a public plea for folks to ask us for money, but I just think that we coming into these last, I guess, couple of meetings of the authority, let's try and have a real clear idea of how we want this thing to, how we kind of make our exit, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. I apologize. I was not here, obviously, the last meeting, and I know that we approved something for the Parks and Recreation on the previous meeting for that one. What did we approve on with Southeastern?
Social meeting then, and matter of fact, Since the financial report was just an information item, I think we'll just move right on into the next item, which is the Arena Convocation Center activity update. And Coach, if you want to kind of, sorry, Keith, if you want to, you're always Coach.
Yeah,
you can kind of give us that update.
Okay. In our last board meeting, it was approved by the authority for $300,000 to be dispersed to Southeastern for upgrades at Paul Laird Field and Arena Convocation Center. We have contracted with Nevco, the scoreboard company, to install video boards at football. So the scoreboard will be coming down. The current scoreboard will be coming down, will be replaced with a video board, and the current video board at the arena will be replaced with a larger, wider board, more technological advanced, more updated. Those are expected to occur April 22nd, and we're on target and ready to move forward. Total cost of the project was a little bit north of $360,000. So we had the $300,000 from the Dcfa, a large private donation, and then a few thousand from the institution. Along with that, we just finished up a successful basketball season. Another, I think, our 16th year, I guess, in the facility. And we were doing some numbers this morning, just for some ticketing purposes and different things. And our total population that goes in and out of that facility annually is just a little north of 50,000, and that's a pretty good turnaround. We have, for the variety of events that we have, our basketball seasons, walkers every day, the Bryan County tournament, commencements, but we're just a little north of 50,000 people that go in and out of that facility annually. So we're excited about that. We finished up since the last meeting. We had the Bryan County tournament, which was again another a very positive event. Upcoming events, we've got Southeastern commencement in May, and then Silo graduation is at the end of May, and those usually are about 4,000 to 6,000, depending on how many graduates there are. So that's the report for the arena.
Right. Yep. Good. Yeah, very much. Our Parks and Recreation. What's happening?
Oh, a lot. Okay, so the lights that you guys approved pretty much when I started. Right. The lights have been delivered. We're waiting on the poles to be delivered to the company, and they're just going to ship them down here when they come in to do install. I'm meeting with I'm going to call him the engineer, the tech person for. Okay. They're going to come down and redo it because they had a new hire. The guy that I had quote me and give me all the stuff, he quit, so he's coming down to make sure that the specs are right. Okay. So we have all the lights. At the complex, we have actually now completed all the smaller shade structures other than the soccer fields. The big softball ones, that's going to be a lot more than what was originally sold to you guys when I started. They put in for $50,000, and it's looking like it'll be $150,000 for both the big shade structures to be engineered and put in. The outfield fence finally was repaired on field 1. The track that you guys just approved, we pushed back the date from March to April because I forgot that Special Olympics takes place on that football field. Right. So we were pushing it back to after Special Olympics. And honestly, they were more than happy to push it back because they had to wait until it's 50 degrees and rising every day. So that will be a better timeline for them as well. Rec leagues are starting up at the complex. Last season we had roughly around 1,000 to 1,200 kids participate in different rec leagues. I haven't got the word for baseball, softball, but we have 400 players for soccer alone. It's growing in the soccer field. We also started a adult softball league. We had 113 participants for adult softball, and I put it as a pure rec league. There's no real champion. It's just bragging rights throughout the city, and a lot of people are for that, and then I got some that are like, we want a championship trophy.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, my fee is $20, so you guys kind of justify that. Same thing with Dixon Durant. The lights been ordered. They'll come in and do all the lights and at Dixon Durant, what I did was not only the lights around the walking track, but I'm redoing the lights on the tennis courts, since we just were in the process of making 2 of the tennis courts into pickleball courts. So getting all those lights rewired and working properly. We're just going to build out of our budget the pavilions. We're pretty much going to have to demolish that one that is existing and then put up a new pavilion on the other pad. And for big events, me and a couple, 9 other organizations, we're doing a Durant Sports Festival. It'll be an annual sports festival starting in June. It's every weekend from May 31st to June 30th. We'll have 2 to 3 different sporting tournaments or clinics taking place all throughout the city. One is stickball at the Tribe, and we'll have a couple at the lake. We have the oddest one is a scuba diving experience at the pool. People will be able to pay to get a try at scuba diving. And then it will be 9 to 10 tournaments at the complex. We're estimating around 18,000 people coming. That's with their families and all that. We'll have rugby. A lot of these teams and organizations are coming from people from outside of the city and bringing them in. So we're hoping that it goes well. This will be the first one, and we're just hoping it'll get bigger and more events, and start adding in camps throughout the week, weekdays, and just have tournaments on the weekends at the complex. Yeah, that's about it for this board.
So, quick question, and
Yes, sir.
and curious. I have no preconceived notions or anything, but do we get does a city get a significant rental or use fee from?
So the location fee, you really can't charge a
Right.
whole lot, because then people just go out. We charge $250 for an entire day.
Well, for the league. I know-
League, we get $12 per kid,
Okay.
and that's it.
Okay.
That does not
Yeah.
even come close to what we.
Sure.
But for our maintenance,
Yeah.
I'm trying to slowly get where rec leagues play on city fields, and then we can keep drawing more people into our complex for tournaments.
Yeah.
Because right now, our complex is pretty much booked up during spring and fall,
Right.
because we have rec leagues playing there every Saturday from 8 a.m. to I think 2 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock. So it makes it real hard to say, okay, we want these tournaments to come in, but then I have to kick out rec league.
Right.
So I'm trying to slowly phase into all the rec leagues play somewhere else, where soccer is our biggest problem, because we don't have any soccer fields in the city anywhere else. I have an area for it, and I'm hoping to get funding for it next year, but it's all just hit or miss.
Yeah. I know our tax renewed, but it's not.
It's not going to me anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
And so I didn't know if anybody had put a pen to, the feasibility. I know it takes a lot of people, but there's a ton of revenue as well
There's a
that's
potential
generated.
for a ton of revenue.
Yeah. Well, it's not. I mean, there's revenue. It's just
Yeah.
not. It's just not the cities.
Because even with tournaments, you have people, they pay us $250 per field,
Right.
but they charge teams $300, and
Right.
a lot of these places or organizations, they charge gate,
Right.
because that's the only way for them to make it from point
Recoup
A to
it.
point B.
Sure.
So we can't take gate, so we just have concession. That's really what gives us our revenue there.
Right.
It's going to be tight. We're going to have to start really watching what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we have several improvements that we need to do sooner rather than later, like our our scoreboards out of date. Bulbs are missing, bulbs are burnt out, so we need to replace a lot of those. On our football field, the scoreboard is on the north side of the field. Well, we're on the northern hemisphere, so the sun is right in the glare, so they can't ever use it. All the PA systems are hit or miss out there, and I'm wanting to get a electronic gate, so we stop having people do donuts in our parking lot at night. So we're trying to make it where it's still accessible for people, but limit to what we are doing.
Was that the vandalism that was going on?
That was the
there?
vandalism.
Okay.
They were getting closer and closer to going onto those multi-purpose fields with donuts, and everything else is locked up where they shouldn't be able to get unless they ran through a gate. But those multi-purpose fields, they are free range.
Do we have all our water fountains and bathroom stuff operational good out there?
I mean, they're closed for the winter right now. I think we're in the
when
process
they're
of opening, but
that's
they'll
good.
be.
Okay.
Remind me where Dixon is again? Which park is
Rocket
that?
Park.
Rocket, okay, that's what I thought. So I know you are turning it into pickleball
Yes,
courts? Because I know
yes.
that there for a while, it was a kind of an issue with the school.
Yes, the school is paying half, and we got 2 courts already painted and resurfaced. Hopefully in the next year or so, we'll get the rest of the 6 or 4 courts. So right now, with the 2 courts that are separated, we have 4 pickleball courts and 2 tennis courts. I just had to put in the nets and net systems.
So okay, when the track does get redone,
Mm-hmm.
will it be up to regulation?
Yes.
Do
So
the schools know that?
I believe so.
Okay.
I know, like Life Church, they have a track team, and they're already asking to use our track for events.
Okay.
Like they tried to do it this year. I was like, give me a year.
Yeah.
Next year we're good, but this year we can't.
Okay.
And so, and Southeastern, they gave me all their specs, so we'll be able to have. I'm hoping we'll be able to host some Southeastern events up there. There's one event that the track coach said, I don't know if we'll be able to do, and that's javelin. And that's because we don't have anywhere set up for javelin. And his idea was to put it along the football field, and they throw through the middle of the football field. But to me, that just seems a little dangerous. So I'm like, we got to find a different spot for that. But the word is getting out that the track is getting redone. So hopefully more people reach out.
Well, I think as this authority, the job of this authority is almost over, and that fund kind of, the sun sets on that fund here in a few months. And I've got a grandson playing baseball. He played football. He played basketball, and I know just the sheer numbers that are there. That and again, I know one guy can't do it, but
in the long
there's
run,
revenue there to.
In the long run, the city
do
needs to start taking over rec leagues, but we're going to have to slowly build on that, and we're starting with adult leagues, and getting more adult leagues. Once we have softball running, we'll do pickleball. Right. We'll do. I know I had some interest in flag football and soccer, so we're just going to slowly pepper them in there, 1 per year. Because once you get it all set up, then it's just cookie cutting every season. Right. But you got that process of setting up is always a pain.
Yeah.
You feel like you'll need a new employee though to do that?
To set up rec leagues, yes. Because I have a rec coordinator that she is fantastic. Her job right now is to really maintain and manage the concessions and field management. But that's a job in itself, and then if you add in rec leagues, we don't want to burn them out and have them quit. Yeah. But
I think it's been some time back, like a long time back. Yeah. But there were some volunteer boards I know that helped to conduct that. It's been 15 or 20 years at least, but anyway, I think that there would be an interest from folks to try and get that done. Just I don't want to cut anybody's revenue stream, but
That-
the revenue
yeah.
stream for the facility is getting ready to
Yes.
to get pinched, and so that would be something I think that should be considered.
Yeah,
So,
it's, we're currently looking
yeah,
into
you
it.
bet. Sure. Awesome.
Any other questions?
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you. Nothing under administration. New business, anything that we did not have here, anything that's on your mind right now? Can I encourage you that, leading up to our next meeting, that, take particular interest in our financials. And then I think, as we meet in June, we have a little clearer picture and a little closer to the sunset picture of what that looks like. And then it's a short turn, until September. Is that correct?
October.
Yeah. But October, okay, yeah, but it will be soon, and so, again, it's not, I don't want it to sound like, all right, let's get this spent, but I just want to make sure that we do everything that we can possibly do and walk away with a good feeling about what we've done with the, with the funds that were entrusted to us. There are projects that need assistance that fall within the scope of the authority and what the original intent was. And so I'm all about, being a good citizen, but I think I recall someone saying, let's not give it, let's not do that. Let's do something with it, and let's not just, give it to the benefactor at the end of the day. Let's find those projects that we need to, to give our attention to.
So, special meeting probably sounds like
Yeah.
realistic, maybe
Yeah.
towards the end of April, to give us a better,
Well,
probably with this.
I think if we can stretch this to the June meeting and get this new
Okay.
document, the new finances, the new financials, and then
One after
almost
that.
immediately after that, after
Okay.
we've kind of had the chance, all right, here's the latest information between that time and D-Day, that's when we could do that, and then at that final, maybe at our final gathering, we could have a clearer picture of what we might be able to do. Does that make sense? Okay. Thank you for your time. Those of you, this is odd, this has nothing to do with the Facilities Authority. Those of you that know Sue Haywood, who handles every special event on our campus, will be retiring on Friday. We got some snacks and goodies in the Welcome Center noon to 2. If any of you know her, have worked with her, you love her, and so on the record, you'll come greet her and tell her thanks. Any other word? Would entertain a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn.
Motion
Second.
and a second. Outstanding.
Board Member Baxter,
Yes.
Board Member Blackburn,
Yes.
Board Member Briscoe,
Yes.
Board Member Grover,
Yes.
Board Member Miller,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Pierce.
Yes.
Chairman Webb.
Yes. Outstanding. Thank you. We are adjourned. Appreciate you.